Have you ever stopped yourself from doing something you love because you were worried about what others might think? Maybe you didn't go to the dance class, or you never started your own YouTube channel, or perhaps you just kept silent during meetings. Think about how much richer your life could be if you weren't held back by the fear of judgment. This is a universal dilemma, and it often goes unaddressed, simmering quietly in our day-to-day choices in today's video. We're diving deep into why it is crucial to liberate yourself from the weight of others' opinions. The significance of this cannot be overstated, as shedding these concerns not only enhances your self-esteem and personal freedom, but also leads to more genuine relationships and a productive, peaceful life. By the end of this video, you will have acquired a set of practical tools designed to diminish the power of others' opinions over your life decisions, enhancing your sense of freedom, boost your self-esteem by disconnecting your self-worth from others, validation, foster resilience and personal growth by embracing challenges without fear of judgment, achieve mental peace and increase your productivity by prioritizing your own standards over societal expectations, cultivate authentic relationships that are based not on pretense or appearances but on real, meaningful interactions. Imagine a life where your choices are dictated by what truly matters to you, not by fleeting opinions or passing judgments. Picture the kind of unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are living authentically. This isn't just idealistic theory. It's a practical way of life that you can start living today if you're thinking, "Well, I sometimes worry about what people think, but it's not that big of a deal." Let me challenge you with this. The moments you give in to external pressures might seem insignificant, but they cumulatively shape how you live your life and perceive yourself. In this video, I will share personal stories, including my own, and philosophical insights that will reveal the profound impact of these seemingly small compromises to make sure you can apply these insights right away. I'll provide clear, actionable steps that you can incorporate into your daily life. We will explore how historical philosophers and modern-day thinkers address the issue of external validation and how their teachings can be distilled into practical advice for our contemporary lives. Moreover, we will delve into how freeing yourself from the concern of others' opinions can unlock a level of personal productivity and creativity you might have never thought possible. Have you ever held back a creative idea for fear of criticism? Or maybe you've toned down your personality to fit into a particular social or professional box. These are not just compromises, they are missed opportunities for genuine self-expression and fulfillment. What's at stake every day that you let the fear of judgment govern your choices? You are missing out on life, real life, not the sanitized version you curate for others' approval. You are missing out on opportunities for true connection, for career advancement, and for personal satisfaction by addressing and overcoming these fears. You're not just improving your life. In the short term, you're setting a foundation for lifelong authenticity and success. So if you're ready to shake off the shackles of societal expectation and start living a life that's true to your personal vision, then stay tuned. This video will not just inspire you, it will equip you with the knowledge and the tools to transform inspiration into everyday action as we move forward. I'll also pose some questions and present scenarios for you to consider, which we will resolve together. By the end of our discussion, this interactive exploration will not only make our journey together more engaging, but will also help cement these concepts in your life, paving the way for real impactful change, freedom from social constraints. Imagine a young artist named Emily Brimming with creative ideas and a unique vision for her artwork. Emily grew up in a small conservative community where certain styles and expressions were considered the norm, and anything outside of that norm was met with raised eyebrows and sometimes outright disapproval. Over time, Emily started to suppress her artistic impulses, opting instead to produce art that conformed to the community standards. She received compliments and encouragement for these conformist pieces, but each praise only deepened her sense of inauthenticity. She knew she wasn't being true to her own vision. During a regional art competition, Emily decided to present a piece she thought would meet the conservative tastes of her community judges. However, when she saw other artists, especially one from a distant city, presenting bold and provocative works, something within her stirred. This other artist named John showcased a piece that sparked intense debate and didn't win any prizes but was discussed more than any other entry. After the event, Emily approached John, who spoke passionately about the importance of artistic authenticity and the personal satisfaction it brought him. Despite the lack of traditional accolades, this conversation was a turning point for Emily. She realized that the fear of judgment had shackled her creativity, forcing her into a mold that wasn't hers. The realization hit her hard. She was sacrificing her potential to fit into an imposed framework. The real prize, she understood, wasn't the trophy or the public approval, but the internal peace and fulfillment from creating art that was true to her inner vision. From that day, she vowed never to compromise on her creativity for the sake of others' approval. The freedom she felt in making that decision was exhilarating. She felt like she was seeing colors for the first time again. This story echoes the existentialist belief that authenticity is crucial to personal freedom. Existentialists argue that individuals are entirely free and therefore entirely responsible for what they make of themselves by conforming to societal expectations. Individuals deny their own identity and freedom. Philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Friedrich Nietzsche have emphasized that living authentically allows one to lead a more meaningful and satisfying life. According to Sartre, bad faith is the term he uses to describe the act of denying one's own freedom and responsibility, essentially deceiving oneself into believing that one does not have the freedom to choose beyond social constraints. So how can you like Emily? Embrace your personal authenticity and resist societal pressures. Start by identifying areas in your life where you conform to please others or fit in, rather than because it aligns with your values or interests. It could be your choice of career, the way you dress, or even your hobbies. Ask yourself, am I doing this for myself or because it's what's expected of me? Begin to make small changes towards authenticity. Perhaps start a project that reflects your genuine interests, or modify your wardrobe to suit your personal style rather than what's fashionable. Furthermore, learn to recognize and challenge the narratives you tell yourself about why you must conform. These narratives often stem from fear of rejection, fear of failure, or fear of judgment. Counter these fears by affirming your right to make your own choices and accepting that not everyone has to like or agree with those choices. Engage with communities or groups that support individuality and self-expression, which can provide encouragement and reinforce your confidence in your choices. Lastly, practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your day or week to identify moments when you felt most authentic and moments you felt trapped by external expectations. Use these reflections to guide your decisions, gradually steering your life towards greater authenticity and personal freedom. By consciously choosing to live authentically, you liberate yourself from the heavy chains of societal expectations. This freedom is not just about making unorthodox choices. It's about making choices that genuinely resonate with who you are. In Emily's case, embracing her true artistic expression not only fulfilled her, but also gradually won acclaim from those who valued originality and authenticity. Like Emily, you have the canvas of your life and you choose the colors that paint it. Make sure they are the colors you love, not just the ones others love to see. Improved self-esteem. Self-esteem is our internal view of our self-worth. For many, this view is heavily influenced by external validation. The likes, the compliments, the scores on tests, and the applause. But what happens when these external affirmations disappear, or worse, when they turn into criticism? Many people find the self-esteem fluctuating wildly, feeling great when praised and worthless when criticized. This dependence on external validation is like building a house on a shaky foundation. It could collapse at any moment. True self-esteem should be built on a more stable foundation, your own assessment of yourself. Let's consider the story of Alex, a high school student who excelled academically and was a star player on his basketball team. Alex's self-esteem was tightly tied to his achievements and the approval he received from his coaches, teachers, and parents. Each grade less than an A and every missed basketball shot was a huge blow to his self-confidence. This cycle of dependence on external success for self-worth reached a breaking point during his senior year when he faced a series of academic challenges and sports injuries that prevented him from performing at his usual level. The applause dwindled, the accolades ceased, and Alex's self-esteem plummeted in his quest to regain his confidence. Alex began to see a counselor who introduced him to the concept of intrinsic value that one possesses independent of achievements or failures. This was a pivotal moment for Alex. He realized that his true worth wasn't the tally of his achievements or the sum of others' approval. He understood that his value as a person was constant and didn't diminish because of a bad test score or a missed basketball game. This shift in perspective was liberating for Alex. It allowed him to view life and its challenges through a new lens. One where he could strive to improve and succeed without the crushing fear of failure, impacting his self-worth. Stoic philosophy, which dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, provides profound insights into this internal approach to self-esteem. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasized that we should focus only on the things within our control, our own thoughts and actions, and let go of everything else. According to Stoicism, our internal responses to external events are within our control. And thus, we should derive our self-worth from our ability to manage our responses appropriately, not from the events themselves or others' opinions about these events. This philosophy teaches that self-validation is not only more stable than external validation, but also more indicative of true character and integrity. So how can you build and maintain self-esteem independently of external validation? Here are a few exercises and mental shifts to consider. Journaling. Start a daily or weekly journal. Reflect on your experiences and focus particularly on your responses to them rather than the outcomes. Praise yourself for when you handle situations in alignment with your values, regardless of the external outcome. Setting personal goals, instead of goals that depend heavily on external validation, like winning a competition, set personal growth goals like improving your skills or learning something new. This shifts the focus from outcomes to personal development, affirmations, and self-compassion. Practice speaking positively to yourself with affirmations that reinforce your intrinsic worth. Phrases like, "I am valuable just as I am," or "My worth isn't defined by my circumstances," can be powerful. Additionally, practice self-compassion. Understand that failing or making mistakes is a part of being human and does not diminish your worth. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices can help you develop a greater awareness of your internal state and teach you to detach from intense, often irrational emotional reactions to external events. Meditation can be a space to internally reaffirm your self-worth and cultivate peace within. Reframe failures as learning opportunities. View each setback as an opportunity to learn and grow. This perspective not only reduces the fear of failure, but also enriches your journey towards self-improvement. By integrating these practices into your life, you'll find that your self-esteem becomes less about what people think and more about how you see yourself. Like Alex, you can learn to value yourself not by external standards but by your own. This change doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, you'll start to feel a profound shift in how you relate to yourself and the world around you. This self-reliance is the essence of true self-esteem, stable, enduring, and entirely within your control. Personal growth and resilience. Personal growth and resilience are often seen as the fruits of overcoming challenges and adversities. However, the fear of external judgment can significantly deter one from facing these valuable growth opportunities. Imagine living in a world where you are free to experiment, to take risks, and to embrace challenges without the looming fear of criticism or failure. This liberating environment would foster not only innovation but also significant personal development. Yet the reality for many is far from this ideal. Social fear and the anxiety of not meeting external expectations can lead to a cautious, unfulfilled life where true potential remains untapped. Consider the journey of Sarah, a software developer with a passion for innovation. In her early career, Sarah often held back her ideas during team meetings, fearing that her unconventional proposals might be dismissed or ridiculed. This fear was compounded by a competitive workplace environment and a past experience where her idea had been criticized harshly, leading her to vow never to put herself in such a vulnerable position again. However, everything changed when her company started a new project that aligned perfectly with the unconventional ideas she had been quietly nurturing. Faced with the decision to step forward and contribute her vision or to remain in the background, Sarah found herself at a crossroads. The turning point for Sarah came during an impromptu discussion with a new team leader who emphasized the value of innovation and the importance of pushing boundaries even if it invited criticism. He shared his own experiences of failures and how those moments were pivotal in achieving subsequent successes. Inspired by this perspective, Sarah decided to step up and lead the project. Her proposals, once a source of personal anxiety, were now instrumental in driving the project forward. This experience brought her a profound realization: embracing discomfort was not just a necessary evil, but a fundamental enabler of personal and professional growth. The fear of criticism, once a barrier, transformed into a lesson on the importance of resilience and the courage to stand by her ideas. This concept is heavily echoed in the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche, particularly his ideas on overcoming and the will to power. Nietzsche advocated for the embrace of challenges as essential to the development of individual strength and integrity. He argued that overcoming difficulties is what forges our character and elevates our capabilities. According to Nietzsche, the path to self-transformation is inevitably filled with obstacles, but it is only by facing and overcoming these obstacles that individuals can truly realize their potential and affirm their existence. Thus, growth is not merely about achieving success, but about how we evolve through the challenges we encounter and overcome. So how can you apply this philosophical insight to cultivate personal growth and resilience? Here are some strategies. Seek challenges deliberately. Instead of shying away from tasks or roles that intimidate you, choose them actively. Look for projects that push your boundaries or areas where you feel you have room to grow. The discomfort you feel will be a sign that you are stretching your current capabilities. Use criticism constructively instead of viewing criticism as a negative reflection on your self-worth. See it as valuable feedback that can drive your growth. Learn to sift through feedback critically. Discard what is unhelpful and incorporate what can improve your skills or understanding. Reflect on your experiences. Regular reflection can be transformative. After facing a challenge, take time to reflect on what you learned, how you handled the situation, and how you can apply this knowledge in the future. Reflection turns experience into insight, which is the foundation of personal growth. Embrace a growth mindset. Cultivate a mindset that views skills and abilities as qualities that can be developed, not fixed traits. A growth mindset enables you to view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than tests to pass or fail. Normalize discomfort regularly. Step outside your comfort zone. This could be through public speaking, taking on leadership roles, or trying new activities that invoke a sense of uncertainty. The more you expose yourself to these situations, the more you desensitize yourself to the anxiety they cause. Building your resilience over time by adopting these practices, you not only enhance your ability to navigate personal and professional challenges, but also prime yourself for continuous growth and self-improvement. Just like Sarah, embracing discomfort and using criticism constructively can significantly expand your horizons, revealing capabilities you might not have realized you possessed. Personal growth is not merely about reaching a destination, but about the journey and the metamorphosis that occurs along the way. Embrace each challenge as an opportunity to forge your path, much like the philosophical teachings of Nietzsche. And watch as your world expands in remarkable ways. Mental peace and productivity. In our relentless pursuit of approval and accolades from others, we often find ourselves caught in a tumultuous cycle of emotional highs and lows. Each piece of feedback or criticism can send us spiraling, disrupting not only our mental peace but also our ability to remain productive. However, imagine a life where your inner peace and focus are dictated not by the changing tides of others' opinions, but by your own steadfast self-assurance and clarity of purpose. This shift from seeking external validation to fostering internal peace is not just liberating, it significantly enhances your productivity and overall quality of life. Consider the story of Maya, a talented graphic designer known for her innovative work. Early in her career, Maya's sense of worth was tightly linked to the feedback. She received positive reviews from clients or her supervisor would uplift her for days. Whereas any negative feedback plunged her into self-doubt and lethargy, severely affecting her creativity and output. This emotional roller coaster not only caused her considerable stress, but also made her hesitant to take on challenging projects that could evoke criticism. However, her perspective began to change following a crucial project that did not go as planned. Despite her hard work, the client was not pleased and the criticism was far harsher than warranted. This incident could have crushed her, but it instead served as a catalyst for a profound transformation. The aftermath of the project led Maya to seek ways to cope with her stress and the instability of her self-esteem. She began exploring mindfulness and meditation initially as a means to manage her anxiety. Over time, these practices opened her up to the Buddhist teachings on detachment from the ego and the impermanence of external circumstances, including others' opinions. Maya realized that her emotional dependency on external validation was not only a source of pain but also a significant barrier to her personal and professional growth. This epiphany that she could choose not to be swayed by the transient opinions of others changed everything for her. She started to focus more on the process and her personal standard of excellence rather than the outcome and the reception of her work. This shift not only restored her mental peace, but also led to a remarkable increase in her productivity freed from the fears of criticism. She was able to take more creative risks, leading to some of her best work. Buddhist philosophy offers profound insights into the nature of the ego and attachment, which are particularly applicable here. According to Buddhism, much of human suffering is caused by our attachment to transient things and concepts, including the opinions of others. The ego, which is our constructed self-image based on these attachments, is inherently fragile and constantly under threat. Buddhism teaches the practice of detachment, which is not about becoming indifferent or unfeeling, but about relating to experiences and opinions without letting them define us. This concept is captured in the idea of anicca or impermanence, which asserts that all conditions, whether good or bad, are transient and will pass. Maya's journey reflects these teachings by learning to detach from the ego-driven responses to external validations. She was able to maintain her inner peace regardless of external circumstances, her productivity so that she was no longer paralyzed by the fear of criticism. She was free to innovate and express her creativity without undue stress about how her work would be received. This not only made her more resilient, but also more satisfied and fulfilled in her career. The mental peace that comes from prioritizing internal over external validation cannot be overstated for Maya and potentially for many others. Understanding and embracing the impermanence of external opinions transformed the way she approached her work and her life. It allowed her to break free from the confines of the ego and the ceaseless search for approval, unlocking levels of creativity and productivity that were previously dampened by fear and doubt. This shift is not merely about changing one's focus, but about a fundamental transformation in how one experiences life and responds to its inevitable ups and downs, the stability and peace that result are not only beneficial for personal well-being, but are also key drivers of sustained productivity and success. Authentic relationships, relationships built on the shaky ground of pretense and constant accommodation to others. Expectations are often superficial and emotionally unsatisfying, while it may seem easier or safer to mold ourselves to fit the perceived desires of others. This often leads to relationships that are not only fragile but lacking in depth. True connection with others comes from authenticity, from being true to ourselves and allowing our real selves to interact with the real selves of others. This authenticity fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships that are resilient in the face of challenges. Consider the story of Jessica, a college student who always struggled with her social identity, eager to be liked and accepted. Jessica frequently adapted her interests, opinions, and even her appearance based on whom she was with. This chameleon-like behavior helped her fit in with various groups, but it also left her feeling hollow and exhausted, as if none of her friendships were based on who she truly was. The turning point came during a summer retreat with a diverse group of students who were encouraged to share personal stories and vulnerabilities. Jessica, initially anxious about revealing her true thoughts and interests, was moved by the genuine connections that formed when she finally expressed her real passions, literature and environmental activism. Jessica's revelation was profound. The people she connected with during the retreat responded with enthusiasm and acceptance when she was genuine about her interests. This experience illuminated a crucial truth that true friendships are built on the bedrock of authenticity. She realized that her previous approach of altering her persona was not only attracting the wrong kind of relationships, but was also preventing her from forming real connections based on mutual respect and shared genuine interests. This epiphany marked a new beginning for Jessica. She gradually started to engage more authentically with others, which led to deeper and more fulfilling relationships. Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, offered significant insights into the nature of friendships. In his ethical writings, particularly in the Neon Ethics, he categorized friendships into three types: those of utility, pleasure, and virtue. Friendships of utility are based on mutual benefit. one person uses the other for their advantage. Friendships of pleasure are based on the enjoyment derived from the other's company. Most profound, however, are friendships of virtue, where both people admire the other's goodness and help one another strive for moral excellence. These friendships are based on true understanding and appreciation of each other's qualities and are sustained through genuine, honest interactions. Jessica's shift toward authenticity in her relationships aligns with Aristotle's concept of virtuous friendships. These relationships are not maintained through pretense or superficiality, but through the robust foundation of recognizing and valuing the inherent virtues in each other. Such friendships enhance our lives, providing not only comfort and joy but also moral support and encouragement to grow as individuals, to nurture real relationships and identify superficial ones. Consider the following steps. Reflect on your relationships, assess the quality of your current relationships, ask yourself which friendships feel genuine and which feel obligatory or superficial. Consider what underlies each type of relationship. Is it mutual benefit, pleasure, or a deeper connection? Be authentic. Start small by sharing your true thoughts and feelings in situations where you might usually conform. Pay attention to how others respond over time. Try to extend this authenticity to more significant aspects of your life. Choose quality over quantity. It's more fulfilling to have a few genuine relationships than numerous shallow ones. Focus on deepening relationships where you feel mutual respect and genuine connection. Communicate openly and honestly. Authentic relationships require honest communication. This includes expressing your feelings, desires, and concerns openly and listening sincerely to others. Support and encouragement. In virtuous friendships, support and encouragement are vital. Be supportive of your friends' goals and challenges, and seek friends who offer the same. In return, by applying these practices, you can transform your relationships from superficial connections based on convenience and pretense to profound bonds that enrich your life. Just like Jessica discovered, embracing authenticity not only enhances your relationships, but also contributes to a fuller, more satisfying life. These real connections foster a support system that can provide both emotional and moral encouragement, helping you to thrive in various aspects of life. As we come to the end of our discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on the transformative insights we've explored today about why not to worry what others think. Each reason we've delved into not only challenges us to rethink our daily interactions, but also encourages us to embrace a life of authenticity and personal freedom. We started with freedom from social constraints, where we saw through Emily's story how liberating yourself from the fear of judgment can unlock your true potential and allow you to express your individuality. Remember, the only person who defines you is you. By embracing who you truly are, you step into a world where your possibilities are not limited by others' narrow perceptions. Next, we discussed improved self-esteem, illustrated by Alex's journey. Alex's realization that his self-worth is inherent and not tied to external achievements is a powerful testament to the importance of building self-esteem from within. This internal foundation of self-worth is your bedrock, and it will stabilize you through life's ups and downs. Practice self-compassion and remind yourself daily that your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. In our third point, cultivating personal growth and resilience, we met Sarah, who discovered that real growth comes from stepping out of your comfort zone and using criticism constructively, inspired by Nietzsche's philosophy. Remember that each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen and assert your capabilities. Actively seek out these growth experiences and watch as they transform you into a more resilient and capable individual. Our fourth discussion on mental peace and productivity brought us to Maya, whose embrace of Buddhist principles of detachment led to significant gains in her creative output and personal peace. This teaches us that by detaching from the need for external validation, you can maintain a tranquil mind and a productive life. Aim to center your peace and productivity within yourself, and watch how much more harmoniously you operate. Finally, authentic relationships, as seen in Jessica's life, remind us that genuine connections are formed, not through conformity, but through honesty and vulnerability. Strive to cultivate relationships based on mutual respect and shared values, and you'll find that these friendships enrich and support you on a deeper level. As we conclude, I encourage each of you to take these insights into your daily lives. Experiment with them, Apply them in small everyday interactions and gradually expand as you become more comfortable with the practices. The changes you make do not have to be monumental. They just need to be meaningful. Start by choosing one area to focus on, whether it's expressing your authenticity, fostering resilience, or nurturing deeper relationships. You are the architect of your life story. Do not hand the pen to anyone else. Hold it firmly and write a story that is authentically yours, rich in experiences and relationships that truly matter. Embrace the discomfort that comes with growth, for it is the crucible in which the steel of your character is forged.